newly broadened horizons with a bountiful banquet of vegetarian offerings. Now, I will say this boldly, loudly, and I can give you the science behind it later, that you cannot be totally conscious when you slaughter death and bring it in, put it into your body, and make your body a coffin. It will lower the energetic potential for your brain and your hormones to function at the level they can, because consciousness is not just a mystical process. It comes from God above. It is a biochemical process that has to do with things like serotonin, dopamine, receptor sites, and we understand consciousness now. And now with electromagnetic frequency, some we use at Hippocrates that we didn't pioneer, but people like Dr. Monroe pioneered back 40 and 50 years ago, you can alter with electronics consciousness. There's a device that we use that reverses about 50% of depression that, by the way, you can buy and take home. If you do everything else right, it's several $100s that adjust neurons in the brain. And this is where the future of healthcare and medicine is going once they found a way to make enough money so they'd let it happen. At this point, they're not making enough money, so you're still in the old chemical paradigm. The history of aging. Even aging has a history. Don't you love that picture? You know, I don't know why in the 60s we had that type of mutton top sideburns. How many of you had that? I was really a swift guy. I had a belly about this big, mutton chop sideburns, and hair down to here. My mom loved me. Then when I said I'm giving up all meat and dairy, and I came home and I weighed about that much and I had hair down here, she couldn't quite figure that out. Our bodies constantly regenerate themselves. As developed cells complete their task, they are replaced by healthy new cells created in our bone marrow. Isn't that amazing? So this concept that I was taught in school, that there's a snapshot of what your health is completely irrelevant. The snapshot I take now, by the way, doesn't exist 1 second from now. Now, if you listened very closely and astutely last night, my wife said to you, stomach lining completely regenerates in how many days? 5 days. Parts of the brain, which I was taught at school, never repair. 2.5 days. One of the most shocking things when I was in school in the dark ages, they used to say, once the liver is harmed, that's it. Do you know every single day, listen closely, there are thousands of surgical procedures where they now cut more than 50% of your liver away if you have cirrhosis or hepatitis or cancer. And guess what? It grows back in how many weeks? 7 weeks. So we are wrong. There's not a snapshot of who you are because you're a chameleon. You're an ever-growing continuum of the universe and the way everything else works and the way that the sun is shining out there today and the way the hurricanes are created and the way the planet flows on its axis and the way the universes work, because we're not in one universe, and we'll get to that by tomorrow. We're in a multiple universe that now we have scientifically validated. There's no debate on this anymore for people who read current science.